In the beginning of the universe, there was no life, only large planets that roamed around the infinite emptiness. However, soon there appeared an all-powerful life form called the first ancestral race. This race wanted the whole universe to be filled with life, and thus created the seeds of life called Adam and Lilith. These were the eggs that consisted of bits and pieces of their powers. The Adam egg had the fruit of life, while the Lilith egg had the fruit of knowledge, and both of them were equipped with a very powerful weapon called the Spear of Longinus. The first ancestral race then scattered these eggs throughout the universe in hopes that life would spread. In the planets where the Adam egg landed, a race of large monstrous creatures called the angels were born, whereas the planets where the Lilith eggs landed, normal animals and human lives were created. The eggs were never sent to the same place, as if one planet had both of these, they would create a life form similar to that of the first ancestral beings. The first ancestral race therefore took great care that they would never meet, but for obvious reasons of making a good story, their care was not enough. On Earth, the first ancestral race had sent the Adam seed, which landed in Antarctica. However, while trying to send the Lilith seed to a nearby planet, it accidentally landed on Earth as well. Upon impact, the Lilith seed had rid itself of its spear, which went out of orbit and landed on the moon. The first ancestral race had prepared for such a situation, as when two eggs landed on the same planet, one of them would deactivate itself. So, the Adam seed, which was the strongest as it still had the spear, deactivated itself, and the Earth was filled with human and animal life over time. Unfortunately, the Lilith seed was blessed with knowledge, and the humans soon found the Adam seed and tried to fuse it with a normal human, which caused an explosion so bad that the whole world was destroyed. Well, almost the whole world. Half of the world's population was destroyed by the explosion that had ensued. The explosion causes Adam's body to separate into his soul and his embryo. The soul of Adam is Kawaru, while the embryo is, well, an embryo. Soon, the impact causes the angels, who were supposed to be born on the Earth in the first place, to start appearing. Massive angel monsters start to appear all over the Earth, terrorizing it. They are large beings who can emit beams of death upon anyone and everyone, and on top of that they have an AT field, a protection force field, which prevents them from being hit by any missiles. The monsters start terrorizing the Earth in search of Lilith and Adam. If the angels get either one of them, it would mean that the human life will be finished, and instead, angel life begins. In order to stop this from happening, a scientist named Gendo and his wife Yue start researching on the Lilith egg that had landed on Earth. Under the organization that they named NERV, they create large mechanical humanoid robots that can be used to fight the angels called Evangelion, or simply Eva. They create many units from Lilith's DNA, and one main unit called Unit 1, which is actually a clone of Lilith's body itself. During the cloning, Lilith's body is also separated from its soul, which becomes Rei. Fast forward to a few years later, Gendo's son Shinji is one of the pilots who drives Unit 01 Eva. He had recently got rid of the world of Adam's soul, who was trying to get his embryo body and destroy life on Earth. Shinji is a troubled young man. He has mixed feelings about himself. He cannot bear the fact that his father won't even talk to him and his mother is dead. He's severely depressed and his outlook on life is bad. All he wishes in his life is that the world would just leave him alone. With the final angel defeated and Adam's soul vanquished, the NERV agents believe that their work is done and can now rest. However, they're very wrong. NERV had another segment in it called SEAL, which wanted the angels dead for their own evil plans. They wanted to carry out the Human Instrumentality Project, a plan that would eradicate the world of free will and create one singular life form with the use of Lilith. The world would be rid of all human insecurities and flaws, and the next step of evolution would begin for the human race. NERV and Gendo had similar plans too, but with the use of EVA Unit 01. In a meeting between the two sister organizations, Gendo refuses SEAL's proposal of using Lilith and proposes using EVA 01. SEAL does not like this idea. Gendo is especially adamant about this because his wife, Yue, had actually attached her soul into the EVA Unit 1. All Gendo cared about was reuniting with his wife. Each of them went to the Human Instrumentality Project, but on their own terms. SEAL soon launches an all-out digital attack on NERV's database system, Magi. They start hacking into the system, but somehow the agents of NERV are able to install some defense softwares which are able to fend off the hackers from getting the data they were after. Data that would let them take over the NERV headquarters. Seal, however, didn't intend to just stop on a digital attack. As soon as the digital attack was fended off, Seal's forces start an all-out attack on Nerve, while the agents of Nerve are reluctant to fight as they were meant to fight angels, not humans. The Seal agents show no mercy and kill anyone trying to stop them. The Nerve agents realized that they were after the EVA's pilots. Once they were destroyed, there was nothing Gendo could do, and he would have to agree to Seal's plans. Rei, who was also a pilot, is somewhere in the facility. Asuka, another pilot, is severely injured from the previous battle, and finally, Shinji was sulking somewhere, hiding from the world and all of its problems. The agents send Asuka in her current state into her EVA unit, and hope for the best. They're unable to contact anyone else, and so Commander Misato goes to search for Shinji. Elsewhere, Gendo, knowing that Rei is the soul of Lilith, wants her to fuse with EVA Unit 01 and start the Human Instrumentality Project. Misato reaches just in time to save Shinji from 3 submachine gun-bearing SEAL agents with just a pistol. Shinji is at his lowest at this point, having lost all hope in himself and the people around him. Misato talks some sense into him and they both drive back to the Nerve headquarters into EVA Unit 01. The Japanese government realizes that Nerve was trying to commit the ultimate crime by starting the Human Instrumentality Project, and so they launch a huge missile to take out the headquarters. Only the bottom levels remain intact. The explosion awakens Asuka, who seems to be well, and she starts battling these SEAL agents. Since EVAs have a force field of their own, just like angels, she's able to overpower the forces easily. SEAL was not unprepared. For the past years, they had prepared their own EVAs, using Adam's embryos. While these didn't need to be piloted by anyone, they were not as strong as EVAs, and so Asuka starts dealing with them one by one. Just as Misato and Shinji reach the entrance leading to Unit 1, Misato gets shot by the approaching forces. They manage to escape, and Misato gives Shinji some final words. She tells him that no one is perfect. Just because he has a lot of issues doesn't mean that he has to give up. He can still keep trying to become better. With this, she gives him a kiss and pushes him into the elevator leading to the bottom floors while she stays behind. The missiles sent earlier by the Japan government arrive and she's blown away along with her surroundings. Outside, Asuka still battles the fake EVAs from SEAL, but her EVA's battery is drying out. She almost manages to finish off the last one, however she's struck by a weapon. The Spear of Longinus, belonging to Adam, which SEAL had acquired. They had come prepared and ready. It strikes her EVA just as her battery runs out, and Asuka is unable to escape, and ultimately she perishes along with her EVA. To add salt to their wounds, the fake EVAs of SEAL, which were considered dead, wake up again and feed off every bit of EVA's flesh, along with her. Inside the depths of Nerve, Gendo reaches with Rei, where Lilith and EVA Unit 01 are stored. Ritsuko, the head scientist of Nerve, is waiting for them. However, she wants to stop Gendo from believing that it's Yue's wish to start the Human Instrumentality Project. She had changed the Magi Systems programming, which would stop Rei from attaching herself to EVA Unit 01. She had even planned to destroy the EVAs, but the system rejects her and her plans were not. Gendo then tells her the truth. Yue wanted this. He then shoots her. She dies with a look of betrayal in her eyes. Shinji manages to unite with his EVA 1 unit, but it's too late. He witnesses the horrifying state of his friend before him and is shocked to his core. Unable to deal with his failure, Shinji becomes distraught, which gives the Adams EVA series enough time to capture EVA Unit 01. With the EVA Unit 1 made from Lilith and the Adams EVAs, the union of Adam and Lilith is complete, and they can activate the Human Instrumentality Project. They want to destroy the AT fields of humans which hold them together, turning them into the fluid called LCL, which all life forms are made up of, thus uniting the entire world into one singular life form. EVA Unit 1, along with Shinji, starts transforming into the Tree of Life simultaneously. Gendo, who had acquired Adam's embryo, plants it into Rei and commands her to get to EVA Unit 1, but she refuses his orders and fuses into Lilith instead. She then transforms into a huge godlike being. With the revival of Lilith, her spears of Longinus return back from the moon. A huge explosion occurs much like that years ago and exposes the Lilith egg that had landed on Earth millennia ago. Rei, who has now become a god, destroys all the humans' AT fields, and soon, one by one, all the humans left in the world are converted into LCL and become one singular entity. All except one, Shinji, who is the Tree of Life. In his state of deep sleep, Shinji contemplates his life. Why was he alone? Why was the whole world miserable? He realizes that he wasn't the only one with issues. He knows the whole world deals with their own problems, but he had been pushing his issues onto others for so long now. Everyone had their own dreams, and he cannot simply push his issues upon others, hoping they would halt their own lives to fix his. He had to take care of himself. Shinji wakes up to find Rei before him in a world filled with LCL, and all humanity as one single form. Earlier, Shinji had wanted this to happen, but now it all felt wrong. He felt that all of the worlds had their own lives, and this was running from it. This was running from their identities and hiding from who they were. He is confronted by Kawaru, Adam, and Rei, telling him that this was the only way he could not feel pain and be free from the loneliness and sadness in the world. Shinji has now come to realize that even though he felt pain in the real world, those pains were real. Those feelings were real, and now what he had was just something he was forced to believe. He can't have that. He tells them that he's okay with the world being imperfect and releases himself from the anti-AT field created by Rei. Soon, Rei's body starts dissipating and disintegrating into bits and pieces. The LCL starts fading away, and the time starts once more. Rei tells him one last time to not fear, and everything will be alright. Shinji walks out of the LCL alone, wondering what the new world would be like, hoping it was the same even though the Evangelions were now gone. He bids farewell to them. He bids farewell to his mother. Shinji looks around and finds Asuka alive beside him, in the most messed up way, trying to confirm if he had truly returned to the world with regret, pain, and suffering. He starts to strangle Asuka to her death. He stops when she caresses him and starts crying, perhaps with hope, or perhaps yet again with the pain and loneliness he had suffered before. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on the notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thanks for watching.